Hello everyone, welcome to the Nail Tip Show. Today I'm going to share with you step by step how to achieve a beautiful gel manicure that will last for weeks as well. So let's get started. Alright, so if you look on the screen, you see this is typical, I would say typical length for the gel manicure. And this is what I already lightly prepped and everything. But I feel like one of the keys for gel manicure is the gel application, and you want to get a clean cuticle, like a clean look, especially around the cuticle. So today I'm gonna go one step further with a diamond bit. So now, since I already prepped, I would say pretty well, and on our channel we do have a few prep videos if you want to check that out. But since today I'm doing really a detailed step-by-step gel manicure, I'm gonna take you another step further by taking a diamond prep and go a little bit further and contour and refine that cuticle area. Okay, so here I have a diamond bit. This is a diamond prep bit. You see here, I'm just gonna go show you slowly on one thing. I'm using about 4,000 RPM, and you can see by going slowly and refining that cuticle, you see how that cuticle is more pushed back and more dead tissue is flying off. You see it? Even though I already prepped it with a sanding band, but I'm gonna use this diamond prep bit. This is just a diamond medium grit. I'm just going around and contour the cuticle area, and I'm gonna do the same for the rest of her hand. Because I'm going very low speed, that allows me to go really tight to the cuticle area and without hurting her as well. Yeah, this bit allows you to go really all that crevices and refine that cuticle area. Okay, so now I have done that. Now I'm gonna take another diamond ball bit, a very small diamond ball bit. This is also medium grit as well, with the same speed of 4,000 RPM. I'm just gonna lightly kind of push that cuticle back a little bit further, and this time I'm really more focused on to kind of like round it and contour the cuticle area. So when I polish the gel, the cuticle looks really nice and you don't have any dry skin around that cuticle area. You see how nicely just kind of buffed away all the dry dead tissue, and the cuticle look more contoured. You see it more later after I'm done and I buffed, kind of dust everything away. You're gonna notice the cuticle is more refined and more contoured. With the speed I'm going, I'm able to use this to buff the skin as well, because with the light pressure, it doesn't really hurting your client. So now I'm just gonna dust everything. And before I start with the surface, I'm just gonna spray them with alcohol to clean the surface. Next, I'm just gonna use a lint-free wipe and just wipe the surface dry. You see how it's more contoured and more refined? Just by 2 extra steps, but it's very quick. You might add another 5 minutes to your surface, but this ensures you will have a nice application of gel polish later on. So now that you create a really clean and very nice and contour cuticle. Next, the next step is very important. I know most of you would just start with a base coat, then 2 coat of gel manicure, and a top coat. Then you said it's done. You're done with the surface, which is typical in a salon. But now, the reason I'm doing this video because I have done this for more than 15 years with my clients, where before, when we don't have a builder gel, I used to use like 2-layer base coat, and sometimes it's just too much application for me. But now that we have builder gel, you have so much options. So before you start with the gel color, you start with a gel builder. Depends on what gel builder you use, okay? Because some gel builder, it might need a base coat, and some gel builder don't. So whatever you're using, you make sure you follow manufacturer's direction and before you use it, okay? But on our channel with the Nail Tip Show, I have shared with you at least one or two brand with gel builder. But one of the brand that I really love is the C&D one, because I have used that one in the salon for quite some time. I love this because with the C&D, you do need a base, which is a bonder, and you have an option of a builder or a shaper. Basically, these two are builder gels, but the builder is slightly thicker and the shaper is slightly thinner. So it's just a matter of preference and how you use it. Depend if you want to extend the nail or you want to use it overlay. I feel like it's a great option. If you want slightly thicker, even with overlay, you could use slightly thicker, or if you like it like slightly thinner, shaper is great for you. So I love this too, okay? The next option that I also love, that I've been using for a long time, especially when it first came out, which is the oily one. Oily builder in a bottle is beautiful and great. I love it for the longest time because this is pretty much the first, gel in a bottle that it just make it more convenient for all of us to do it in the salon instead of a pot, and you have to whip out a brush and then you have to apply it on the client. This way, I just take a bottle and go straight to the nails. When first Oily came out, it has clear only, and now I noticed they have more options on the pinks. So it's all up to you. It just matter of preference, but I love clear, just so then when I remove the gel, I just know that once I remove it, I just have the clear layer. I can rebalance the clear, then or refill or backfill the clear, then I just continue with my gel polish application. But today I want to introduce to you a new product I've been testing out myself, and I love it because not only has multitask with one bottle, but for a builder gel, it's really beautiful and has good adhesion and really minimal of heat spike as well. So this is why I want to share with you. And the product that I'm talking about is Mount Oak U Gel. All right. So you have seen it. I have done a video on the gel extension application, and I have used this. But I also know that Mount Oak U Gel has other functions as well, which is you can use it as a builder gel. You can extend it, or you can use it as an overlay, and you don't really need to use a base coat, but you have to use the primer with it. So today I'm going to show you how to use it, incorporate with your gel application. Okay, so all right, since we prepped the nails and everything, the next step, all I have to do is add the Mount Oak primer that goes with it. All right, so you just want to apply it on nice and even, sparingly on the surface of the nail. Before you start with the surface, I recommend you to have a flashlight ready, a cleanup brush, any used makeup brush that you want to throw away, but it's really small so you can clean up the edges. This is a perfect brush for it. And then of course a little detail brush, just so then you can work on drag the gel into the more like the side walls or around the cuticle area. And of course a little bit alcohol to clean it with. All right. So when you work with any gel builder, you don't want to create a lot of bubble while you're working. So let me share with you is that once you open the bottle and you want to pull the brush up, mainly just kind of slide the gel down along while you're pulling the brush up, and take the gel and kind of like just use, you see how the brush right here, I'm just gonna swipe one side like so. So then you have just enough the gel on that tip of the brush. That way you don't create too much bubble. All right. Some gel naturally it's hard to stay away from that. It's just the nature of gel. But this way will ensure you to have more smooth application without any bubble. All right. Since now that I have enough, just a little bit on that side of the brush, I'm just gonna use this very minimal. You can see I swipe kind of like almost like 50% off the brush already. So then I only have that small bead for the gel. So now I'm going to take that side with the gel. I'm going to go straight in, and you just want to apply it like you would with your gel polish. You just want to create that nice slip layer. And if you need more gel, this is what I'm going to do. Since you have a little bit gel at kind of the lip of the brush, I just scoop that up and use more of it on top of this nail surface. Okay, so what I essentially doing is just want to create that slip layer, a very thin coat, because you don't want to build too much thickness, but you do want enough so then it's not too thin. And this is why I like this type of gel. It's just not too thin, so then it has volume when you work on the surface of the nail. And if you want just a little bit, or even take the side of the brush and just kind of go across, just so then you have a little bit more gel at the tip of the brush. All right. Once you have done that, I would say take a detail brush, like here. You could use like a 10mm brush, and I would just kind of wet the brush a little bit just so then it's easy to work with. That's it. That's all you need. You see it? It's not a lot. Okay, then what I'm doing is just mainly drag it on the side, and just in case you have too much on the detail brush, you can start with the middle, just kind of lay on the spine too. But since I don't have a lot, I'm just gonna take the gel on the side and drag this too. Okay, and then if I need to, I feel like this, look at this nail. It looks really nice, but I want to give her a little apex to give that little bit nice C curve to the nail. What I'm gonna do next, taking the brush and just use a little bit on the side of the brush and just add that spine of the nail. You see that? And naturally this gel will self-level, and it gives you a really nice thickness to the nail surface. And pretty much that's it. And then once I feel like I've done with everything that I want it to be, like with the cuticle and the sidewall, everything is good, I usually flip around the hand and let that sit for about, and you also want to level the nail. You don't want to have the nail, you want to parallel to the surface of the table, so that nail is nice and level. So everything will pull, the gravity will pull the gel back to the center. Flip that back after 3 to 5 seconds, then flash cure real quick. You want to flash cure this gel about 10 to 15 seconds, that's it. With this gel, has really minimal heat spike, so 10-15 seconds will ensure that will freeze the gel. Then you can move on to the next finger. Now I want to give you a close-up look. Look how nice that is. And that's it. Let me show you the next finger. if you feel like you don't have enough gel, like again, just scoop it up from the lip of the bottle and just make sure you have a nice even. You could tell I don't even put a lot on. I just want like a nice lip layer. All right, and then if I need to, I scoop a little bit more. I also could add a little bit at the spine. And let the gel just work its magic and self-level to the rest of the hand. I mean the nail plate. While it's spreading and self-leveling, I can also take my detail brush and work on the side wall of the nail and even around the cuticle if I need to make sure I have all the gel cover entire nail plate. And then after that, you kind of look and assess the nail one more time. I feel like with this nail, I might need a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is take the brush and add just a little bit more right here. You see how I just put a little bit dot of gel, and you see how quickly the gel is self-level already on this with the rest of the gel. This is why I love about it. And all you do, again, flip it. If you want, you can tap, but you don't have to, because like I said, the gel is really good with spreading. So then I'm just gonna flash cure for about 10 to 15 seconds. And that's it. Again, let me give you a close-up shot. It's really beautiful. So after you finish the whole hand, you want to put the hand in the lamp for full 60 seconds with the LED lamp, okay? So after 1 minute, this is fully cured. You can see I haven't done anything to it yet, but it came out really nicely. And it doesn't really add a lot of thickness to the nail. It still gives you a natural looking, healthy nails. This is why I love it, because once your clients do this, I will guarantee you your clients will love it, because it feels very differently after you put the builder gel on. Because a lot of time, like I said, the way you remove it too, it kind of thinning out the nails. But this way, since you have little protection when it comes to removal, it's going to be a lot quicker too as well. And if you guys want me to show you how to do removal for this service, let me know, put it down in the comment. I'm happy to do that for you guys, okay? So now you can see, most likely in the salon, to be honest with you, I go straight in with the gel polish because I don't really need to do a lot of shaping and refining. But in case if you do, all you have to do is spray it with alcohol or use a lint-free wipe. Make sure you have alcohol or gel cleanser and just wipe it. I would say with this, if you have to, you just have to kind of reshape slightly again on both sides, maybe at the free edge a little bit and buff it again. But a lot of time, this is why I go really detail of what I do, how I use the little brush, how I carefully just put on a slip layer, add to the spine of the nail. That way I ensure to have a nice structure to the natural nail plate. Then without any shaping or buffing, I can go straight to the gel polish. That will ensure me to give my client a quick service, but also a nice, really healthy nails as well. So you see, but in case if you need to buff or file, all you have to do is take a file. I would say 150. That's all you need, or 150 or 180 is good. And just kind of buff and refine the shape a little bit if you need to. So next, if you have to refine the cuticle area a little bit, you can use the same bit again with this diamond bit right here. Okay, Or if you really need a little bit or something a little bit more grit, then I would recommend at least the fine carbide bit, and that's all you need. Because if you just have a perfect application already, but you just want to make sure it's nice and clean, you could use the diamond one. But if you need a little bit more to get rid of some of the gel you might have around the cuticle area, the fine carbide bit is more than enough. All right, guys. But today, since I feel like my cuticle is nice and clean, I'm just gonna buff it with the sanding band that I used earlier to prep. I'm just gonna use that, and with my low speed of 4,000 RPM, I'm gonna turn it. Just 4,000 RPM. That's all you need. 4 or 5 is good too, but I usually just start with 4. All right, and then all I have to do is refine cuticle area. And just buff the surface a little bit. You don't want to buff away because, again, we didn't really lay on a thick layer, so you really don't need to do a lot of buffing. Like I said, most of the time I don't really need to do this step, but because just in case if you guys need to, I just want to show you, especially you are beginners or you just didn't have enough experience with the gel yet, this might need an extra step, but I guarantee you do this long enough, like even just after a few sets of this, you get the hang of it. You don't even really need to refine or reshape the nail, because everything pretty much done with taking the time to do the gel application well, and you minimize this step pretty much very quickly. So usually in the salon, I would ask my client to go to the bathroom and wash their hands, but for now, I'm just gonna cleanse it again with alcohol or gel cleanser, and you just take a little bit of any lint-free paper and just kind of wipe it, and then that's it. Now I'm just gonna go in with the gel color, and I'm gonna show you how it looks with the gel color. You can see it's not really thick at all. Okay, I'm just trying to put the gel, push it back to the cuticle as far as I can, and gives you a nice clean look. But you can see once you prep the nail really well, you want to taunt the skin on the side while you do the application on the side, so then you can have a nice line. And I always, when I do this gel application, I always make sure I have a little brush to clean right away in case I have a little mess. That way I don't have to worry about it. I see a little corner, not too bad, but I want to clean that too. But you can see. And then for the free edge, I would recommend you to take the brush, clean out the gel, and just slightly go across if that's what you want to do after. Or you could do it a little bit before application, where you can touch the free edge a little bit before you go into the whole surface of the nail. Start with that first. So you want to fan out the brush, so then it allows you to get really tight and close to the cuticle area. See how you fanning it and thinning out the brush allows you to get really close and have more contact with the nail surface. All right, you see? And if you feel like you don't have a good application, you could use a detail brush like this one and just dab it into the gel polish, and then just do along the side wall or the cuticle as well. But I'm showing you the step-by-step very slowly, so that you don't take a lot of gel. That way it doesn't flood all the way to the cuticle area. So if you want, you can touch the free edge first, and then whatever left, you want just one side of the brush have gel. That way it's nice and thin, and that way when you do this, it doesn't flood the gel everywhere. And just pull it down. you want to kind of slightly glide down. You don't want to kind of swipe the gel away. You just want to slightly and gently keep the brush and glide down like that. With the side, I always use my thumb and pull the skin and then take this side of the brush and just angle straight. Some nail, I do need a detail brush, but if I could do this without using it, I would. But it's always nice to have a little brush or little tool to help you as well. Once you're done with the whole nail, you want to brush everything lightly again, just so the gel is nice and even. I always try to deposit some of the gel on the surface of the nail before I go into the cuticle. That way I don't have a lot of gel when I do this. When I push the gel close to the cuticle area. Sometimes when you have too much and you push it up, you might have too much and then you flood the whole entire cuticle with gel polish. So for me, I always kind of spread that first. And then I go into the cuticle area and then I'll work on the sides. Same thing with this one. Pull the skin away. Once I'm done with the application, I want to make sure I have nice and even coat. And that's it. Usually gel polish, you need 2 coats, so you want to apply very thin, okay? You don't want to go too heavy-handed because when it's thick, it doesn't cure properly, and that's how the gel can be peeled as well, all right? So once I'm done with whole hand, I can put the hand in the lamp. So after 2 coats of gel polish, then I'm gonna go in with a gel top coat. And today's I'm gonna use Mong Úc U Shine. This is a non-wipe gel top. So with the gel top coat, you wanna do the same thing. You don't want too much gel on your brush, just swipe off one side and just have a little bit gel on the other side. And kind of same thing, you just wanna do it the free edge a little bit. You wanna cap the free edge and then just go straight to the cuticle and slowly drag the gel out. I feel like with the gel polish application, you want to keep that technique pretty much throughout every surface and every gel polish that you use or every gel top coat that you use. I feel like it doesn't change. You see how I barely have enough. It doesn't flood everywhere. And the gel is really nice and shiny as well. All right, and then I'm done. I'm gonna continue same thing with the next finger. You want to cover the entire surface where the gel polish is, so that way the gel polish has protection from the gel top. That way the gel stays shiny and it's gonna last for weeks. Okay, after you're done with the gel top coat, another tip that I want to share with you too, if in case you have a little bit more gel top than you want, don't go into light right away after you're done with the gel top application. You want to flip the hand for about 3 to 5 seconds again. That way all the gel will pool in the center. Then go in the lamp. That way all the gel will be in the center and yet the side of the nails, it doesn't get wider. That's another tip because I feel like a lot of time you have done a beautiful job, but because of the gel application, too much gel and then it get flooded on the side and it get thicker and so the nails becomes wider. So one way to troubleshoot that is just flip the nails over. That way you could do that with gel polish and the gel top as well. That way everything stays in the center. Okay guys? Alright guys, so after 1 minute in the LED lamp, this is a complete look. You can see I didn't put any cuticle oil yet, but I just want to show you a really nice side view of each finger, how it doesn't really add a lot of thickness to the nail, but it gives you a really nice curvature and a really good strength to the nail. And let me see if I could flip the nail so you could see the free edge a little bit. Let me see. All right, so you can see, look at the free edge. It doesn't really add a lot of thickness, but the free edge is nice and clean, but it also gives a little strength. You can see it's slightly thicker than just with the gel polish. This will ensure your client will not come back with the edge that, you know how the gel polish lifted away from the natural nails. The U-gel really helps, guys. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of cuticle oil. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you like the extra step with the gel builder? I guarantee you, if you do it on your clients, they will love it because the removal and the wear of it is really nice for your clients, especially if they do a lot of office work or housework or even sport, if they're very active. This will give them a really nice, strong, and really a nice strength to the nail, but it gives you that, allows them to do things without worrying that will chip the gel polish. All right, I hope that helps. If you want me to do more the video on removal or maybe even the rebalance, put the comments down below. Okay guys, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye guys.